What's going on, guys? Machine here with some Warrior information from the Mists of Pandaria. If you guys haven't seen my previous video about the announcements, I'll give a quick talents update. So basically, everything that we know and everything that exists right now about speccing as the class you play is thrown out the window. They're calling it Talents 2.0, and that's going to be the new thing that they're introducing in the new World of Warcraft expansion. And basically, each class will have core abilities that you will receive while you're leveling, and they will be abilities that will be available to any spec from that class. Then every 15 levels, you will get 3 points that you can put in what's called specialization trees. These specialization trees will be able to customize a class to play to your liking. So class abilities like Heroic Strike, those will be available to all warriors, whereas Slam will only be available to arms warriors. Now those are going to be spec abilities, and those will be only available to certain specs. Then there's going to be the specialization talent points that you can put in to more or less hone the class to the way you like it. So any warrior, for instance, will be able to use Throwdown, and you'll have to pick between 3 different crowd control abilities on that level of talent. So you will be able to become more viable in other specs for PvP, for instance, like Fury. You know, if Fury gets Throwdown, more crowd control, more abilities at your disposal, and you can run around hitting people with dual-wielding two-handers for the win. So this is very exciting, some changes that are going to be occurring, and I think World of Warcraft is doing something they should have been doing all along. I think they're watching other games do it now, and that's molding the class to your liking. You should not be in a cookie cutter, and you should not be able to play a certain spec in the role you enjoy to play. So I mean, if you're doing PvP, you shouldn't be stuck to just arms, or you shouldn't be severely handicapped, should I say, if you use Fury. If arms wants to be a little bit better, that's fine, but to be completely retarded versus arms is just, it's not fair. And I think they're finally realizing that, and it's very, very exciting that they are finally bringing this out. So at level 10, you will kind of pick your play style, and at level 15, you'll pick your first talent. Warriors will have to pick between Juggernaut, Double Time, and Warbringer, and the players will basically be able to pick which mobility ability they want to pick depending on their play style. So each tier will have a different area. You're going to have a crowd control tier, a mobility tier, I'm sure a damage increase tier. So we're going to get right into it here. They've basically released images of the different warrior abilities that are going to be available. Mind you, these are all subject to change. This is like severe alpha, so keep with me. So basically, initially you'll be able to pick at level 15 Juggernaut, Double Time, or Warbringer. Juggernaut's going to be able to charge every 12 seconds instead of every 20 seconds, so it's going to be able to knock down that cooldown. Double Time, you're going to be able to use charge twice before incurring its cooldown. So boom, boom, then cooldown. Then Warbringer, your charge also roots a target for 5 seconds. So not only are you charging in, throwing the root down, it's definitely interesting. So you're not just going to have like your classic charge. You're going to have charge with a vengeance. Be able to pick with your play style. Do you want to be able to, charge twice? Do you want to be able to charge more often? Or do you want to be able to charge and root? Your call. The next tier, at 30, you're going to be able to do Enraged Regeneration, Second Wind, or Impending Victory. Enraged Regeneration is going to give you a regeneration of 30% of your total health over 10 seconds. Second Wind, whenever you are struck by a stun or a mobilize effect, you generate 20 rage and 5% of your total health over 10 seconds. Whenever you take direct damage, you have a 10% chance to regenerate 3% of your total health over 5 seconds. So basically, if you get hit with a stun or you get immobilized, you generate 20 rage and 5% of your total health over 10 seconds. So that helps, if you're getting hit, you can't do anything, maybe your healer's, trying to run to you, it's an ability that gives you a chance to survive. Then, last but not least, we have Impending Victory. You can use Victory Rush at any time, but with a 30-second cooldown and a 20 rage cost. So that's telling me that I don't have to get the last killing blow on an enemy or a mob. That's telling me that I can use Victory Rush anytime I want, but I have a 30-second cooldown. It's pretty interesting. The next tier at level 45, we got Throwdown, Piercing, Howl, and Cripple. Throwdown knocks the target to the ground and stuns it for 5 seconds. Piercing Howl causes all enemies within 10 yards to be dazed, reducing movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds, and then Cripple. Your auto attack hits and Ren ticks maim your target, reducing movement by 50% for 15 seconds. So, it's interesting. It gives you some straight up ground control. Do you want to take someone out of the game completely? Do you want to, have like an AoE situation where you're reducing speed? Or do you want to be able to actually reduce movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds? That's huge. And honestly, if you can charge in and get a cripple off, hey, that takes away kiting to a degree, because you're going to be, reducing your movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. So, I mean, for instance, like a hunter or a mage, crack them with that. They can't just immediately run away and just continue to fire away. They're going to have reduced speed by 50% for 15 seconds. That looks really appealing to me, and I'm definitely excited to kind of test that ability out. On the next tier, at level 60, you have Gag Order, Rude Interruption, and Disrupting Shout. Gag Order, your Pummel and Heroic Throw have a 100% chance to silence the target for 3 seconds. Rude Interruption, successfully interrupting a spell with Pummel increases your damage by 5% for 30 seconds. And Disrupting Shout interrupts all spellcasting within 10 yards and prevents any spell in that school from being cast for 4 seconds. Hello, Disrupting Shout. Holy shit. That's awesome for Battlegrounds. Interrupts all spellcasting within 10 yards. So an AoE interrupt. That is awesome. Oh my god. That is very, very, very exciting. Can I have that now, please? Oh my god, I think I just got wood. Like, I'm so serious right now. The next tier, tier 5, you have at level 75, Deadly Calm, Death Wish, or Bull Rush. Deadly Calm, you enter a battle trance, causing your next 3 heroic strike or cleave attacks to cost no rage and last 15 seconds. Death Wish, you attack with Reckless Abandon for the next 10 seconds, which enrages you and causes you to generate additional rage from damage received. While under the effects of Death Wish, you take 5% additional damage. And last but not least, Bull Rush. Your charge and intervene and rage you for 6 seconds. All tempting. Definitely some cool cooldowns there. We'll have to see how those all play out from a strategy standpoint, but definitely an intriguing tier. And then the last tier, tier 6, Bladestorm, Shockwave, and Avatar. Bladestorm. You become a whirling storm of destructive force, instantly striking all nearby targets for 150% weapon damage and continuing to strike all nearby targets every 1 second for 6 seconds. During Bladestorm, you're immune to movement impairing and loss of control effects, but can be disarmed, and you can only perform shout abilities. Shockwave sends a wave of force in front of you, causing 497 damage and stunning all enemy targets within 10 yards in a frontal cone for 4 seconds. Avatar. You transform into an unstoppable colossus for 10 seconds, which increases your damage dealt by 20% and causes your attacks to generate extra rage. While transformed, you're immune to movement impairing effects. Oh my god, hello Avatar. That reminds me of Berserker in Dark Age of Camelot. That is sweet. So everyone, overall, some major changes to the warrior class coming, and I mean, just by going through these tiers, I think a lot of the bitching and moaning and complaining on the forums, I think some of the abilities, suggestions, and even more so, newer abilities, fresh thoughts, and it seems like it's going to be almost an entirely new class. And think of all the combinations you're going to be able to throw into the mix by utilizing your different skill points in these different tiers. So I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to hear more about these specialization points and abilities that we're going to be able to receive as a warrior. And I'm very excited to play the warrior class in the new expansion. So, as always, guys, any new warrior information comes out, I will be throwing it our direction. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, post them in the comments. But I'd really like to start a conversation here, guys. So, just by looking at the different tiers, what do you think, you'd be interested in playing? What combos do you think you will end up putting your specialization points in to make your spec a successful class in either PvE or PvP? Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned and machine out.